Good evening, everybody. Happy Monday night. This is Comedy Doctors, the show where we take your serious problems and give you absolutely horribly terrible, funny advice. I'm your host, Frank Licari, and I'm here to tell you, if you're irritated, if you've got problems, if you've got pet peeves, rather than go to Facebook and post this big, long rant, you risk losing your friends, your family, your job, send it to us, and we'll take care of it. We got a great show for you tonight. 3 very funny people with me. But before I bring them on, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
The Big Apple Shopping Bazaar Jewelry Exchange and Salon and Spa Suites. Located off Atlantic Avenue in beautiful Delray Beach, Florida, this unique mini mall will transport you to the streets of New York City for a one-of-a-kind shopping experience. The Big Apple Shopping Bazaar provides shoppers with over 65 one-of-a-kind specialty boutiques with amazing items at fantastic prices. For more information, go to BigAppleShoppingBazaar.com.
It looks just like New York, doesn't it? Like you were transported there. You don't have to ever visit ever again. Let's welcome my first guest tonight. You've seen him on Conan. You've seen him on Grey's Anatomy. You've seen him on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Tosh.0. Please welcome Chris Cope, everybody.
Hello.
Chris.
How you guys doing?
How are you, man?
I'm sitting in my room.
I can tell, yeah. Where are you joining us from, Chris? Where are you at?
Sherman Oaks, the best place in all of Los Angeles.
Where all good things happen, Sherman Oaks. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, welcome, Chris.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Great having you. Let's welcome our next guest. You have seen her on Comics Unleashed, Law and Order, Comedy Central, Premium Blend, The View. Please welcome Sunda Croonquist, everybody. What's going on? How are you?
Great. Glad to be here.
And you know, I'm gonna reveal something off camera. Sunda told us this is their first time doing a show on the Skype Zoom thing. So you're a virgin. We're gonna get you experienced after tonight.
Yeah.
This is the best hour of your life. All right. Let me welcome our third guest. You've seen her all over. You've seen her on Funny You Should Ask, America's Got Talent, Forever 31, Gotham Comedy Live. Please welcome the lovely and talented Jodi Miller is with us.
Yay!
I'm not a doctor, but when I put my glasses on,
Wow, totally.
super smart.
Totally. Could play
Super
on
smart. Okay,
Absolutely.
so I'm obviously qualified to give you all the advice you need about mouth kissing your cat, drinking Jack Daniels. I mean,
you know, it's funny. I didn't think I would need advice mouth kissing my cat, but I'm going to take that later.
it actually is a cure for everything. Oh, Chris just put his glasses on. He's trying to outsmart me.
Wow, look at that. 2 smart people. Sunda, you got glasses you can wear or no?
You know, I really do, and I was thinking about it, but really, I was just enjoying the show. Since I decided I would sit back and watch you guys.
Sure.
I wanted to know, I'm here in LA, but you're in New York, and I'm jealous because my place is on 9th Street between 2nd and 3rd in the East Village.
Oh, wow.
And talk about advice. There's some people who need advice right now.
No question. New York needs a lot of advice right now.
Really, that mayor with the fake name. He's not even Italian. He's a Kraut.
Oh, man. Are we starting on politics right away? We haven't even got.
I love this. She hasn't even had her wine yet.
Right?
Wow.
She's working it out. This is how you
I
get
don't
through
want
your
to talk about politics because I'm going to tell you something. Whatever's happening in this world is dividing people, so I don't want it. I just want to laugh. But the only thing that brings people together for real is horror and laughter.
There
Why?
you go.
Yeah.
Well, we'll probably do a little horror at some point today, but let's do mostly funny stuff. How about that? Let's do this. Anybody that's watching right now, if you've got any problems you want to give us, feel free to post them in the comment sections on your Facebook pages, YouTube pages, and we will get them. You can also email them to comedydoctors@comedyflow.net. But I think we have a few, so let's get started. What's our first problem here? Let's see here. My son moved back in with us. He's currently one of the many unemployed victims of this pandemic. I understand this is a tough situation for him, but I can see him getting rather comfortable with collecting unemployment and sleeping all day. How can I push him to be better? Mama didn't raise no bum. From Tina in Staten Island. Okay. Tina in Staten Island wants to know how she can motivate her son and get him to do a little bit better. Let's start with you, Chris, because you look like you've probably spent some time bumming around in your life. What do you think?
I think his mother should take his pertinent information, put it all over the internet, and by tomorrow, 2 days later, his accounts are going to be empty, and he's got to go out and get a real job because he's got to make real money.
Okay, so you're advocating mom sabotaging his entire life and having him start over.
Correct.
That's good. That's good advice.
That's my professional opinion.
Very nice.
That's really good.
Very nice. Jodi, what do you think?
Well, first of all, Tina, you didn't raise a bum, but did you raise a hot guy? Because if he's hot, I'll take him. But that's my advice. Marry him off. Make him someone else's problem. Seriously, just make sure he's got some good-looking pics. Post it up there. Get him on some of the dating apps. If he's attractive, some woman will definitely snack him up. And if she's older, maybe she'll be a sugar mama. And then her problem. You're done. There you go.
Very nice. Okay, so far, Tina, I want to make sure you got this. Chris wants you to sabotage your son completely. Leave him flat broke with zero, so it pushes him out of the house.
Rock bottom.
Rock bottom, right? Jodi's telling you, make sure he's got a really great profile pic.
And I said, turn on the vacuum cleaner. Leave the vacuum cleaner
to a rich sugar mama, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Great. Okay, I cannot wait to hear what Sunda has for us. All right, Sunda, what do we tell Tina?
I'm sorry to talk over again. It's my first Zoom, but guess what?
You're good.
There's a real situation that's going on. And you know what? You have to take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Get him up. Make him clean the car. He doesn't want to turn the vacuum cleaner on. Pots and pans. Pots and freaking pans. Jersey style. You're Italian? Like, hey, shoot. Get up. Hey, Stunad. You want to get up and make his life a misery. Tell him how it's Uncle Joey from down the Jersey Shore died in his sleep because he wouldn't get out of the bed when he collected unemployment. That's what you got to do, you freaking shoot. Get up. You want to be like this? I'll fungal.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Calling him a chooch. I haven't heard that one in a while. That's going deep in the Jersey.
I haven't called one in a while. I remember that every day.
That's a good one. Okay, so Tina, there you go. You got your options. You can put him to work and make him do everything around the house, calling him a chooch. Oh, I think Tina's probably Italian. She probably gets that. Joe's telling you to get him married off to some rich sugar mama. Pretty good, right? Takes care of a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And Chris is saying sabotage your son's life and force him out that way with nothing.
I diffuse.
Destitute. Very nice. You guys,
three really good options.
You guys ever been in that situation? You ever had to move back in with mom ever in your careers? Anybody?
No, you have, Chris.
Right? It's always
out of 18, moved back in at 20.
Yeah. And it's always a possibility in our career, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah. My mom actually lives with me, but she's on the mantle, so she doesn't take up a lot of space.
Someone wants a sympathy clap.
Wow.
No, not at all.
Wow.
She's still judging me. It's not like she's up high. Yeah, see, Sunda knows. She might be dead, but she didn't stop judging my life choices.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. She's on my mantle. I love it. All right, let's go on to our next one. What's our next problem? Oh, wow. You're going to love this one. I'm a comic just starting out. Wow. I recently started a podcast and immediately noticed a trend. I send people the online posters to promote the shows with all the info. However, like clockwork, half the people will message me asking what time or how do I listen? Come on, man. Why are people lazy? So that's Jimmy from Philly. Jimmy just got into stand-up comedy. I'm sure you guys are going to be able to give him plenty of advice.
Start.
And he's putting out his posters. Nobody's reading them. His friends don't care. How do we get people to step up and read the info? Let's start with you, Sunda. What do you think?
I'm going to tell you where to go. You're going to tell him to go to the LA School of Comedy. That's why I came on. Because you know something, if people tell you you're funny, you probably are. But if you don't have people that's going to help support you and be around you and help you get there, then forget about it. And there's no one that's going to help you. Okay? You got to do it yourself. So start something. Join somebody. Do this Zoom thing. It's my first time doing it. But if you go to an open mic, especially during COVID, if you're able to do anything, invest in yourself. This is the time to invest in yourself. I've been running this place for 15 years. It's not an ad. I'm just telling you that it works. You know, like sometimes people can't get on stage. They don't know what to do. You know, Jodi knows me from back in the day. She worked with me. We would put a show together because they wouldn't put us on as women. So I put a show together, the Femme Fatale. Sometimes you got to follow what's you. It depends on who you are, where you're from, what you're doing. What do you think, Hope?
That's good. So you're saying screw your friends, right? If they're not going to support you, do it yourself. Go out and get people that will. Good advice.
Yep.
All right, Jodi, what do you think?
It sounds like Jimmy's got some dumb friends. Okay, that's the first thing. He just really actually needs new friends. If they can't look at his podcast like information and they can't figure it out, then you have dumb friends. You need to get a better group of friends. Then once you have that, things will start taking off. As far as the podcasts, as long as you've got one listener, you're doing better than most. So
there you go.
You think the podcast over the stand-up, right?
Well, he's doing both. He's doing both.
What kind of friends are these?
Right.
Dumb friends. They're very dumb.
I love that both of you had basically said, just screw them. Who needs them? Who needs?
Really
Get
dumb.
yourself a
You
new.
need good friends that are smart.
Boom. Boom. All right.
Tell us, go.
What I would do is I would change the name of the podcast so whatever time he usually starts.
Nice.
There you go.
That way.
So like
I mean, you're just making a willful decision at that point not to be there on time because
Yeah.
it's a circle.
Right.
Just call it Thursday, 7 p.m.
Yeah, Thursday, 7 p.m. Oh, what's the name of the podcast? Thursday, 7 p.m. When's it start? Thursday, 7. Oh, how the fuck can I forget that?
It's actually really good advice. I know you're being. That's very funny, actually. I think that was.
Yeah, it's why I'm here, right?
Because you don't look that smart, but that's a really smart thing to say.
Hold on.
Oh, now
yeah.
I get it. Now I get it.
I look like the son of Harry Carey. Just you get okay. You got the reference.
I did get the reference.
Cubs win.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, so basically, Jimmy, two people basically said, get rid of your friends. They suck, right? You need other people in your life. You need supporters. And Chris is telling you, change the podcast to the time of the podcast, and they'll never forget it. I love it. All right, let's go to our next one. What's our next problem here? My husband bought me an Alexa for my birthday. He thinks it's clever because my name is Alexa. However, every time he calls my name, that stupid thing goes off. Do you have a method for getting someone to return a gift without hurting their feelings? Janine in Atlanta, Georgia. Janine has an Alexa. Her name is Alexa. Husband did it. I'm sure I can guess what some of the answers will be here. Jodi, why don't we start with you?
Well, I mean, first of all, you're married to him. What do you mean? Do you have any advice about returning a gift without hurting? Are you worried about hurting your husband's feelings? He got you an Alexa. And the reason I just said it like that is because Frank said it 3 times and my Alexa just went off.
Yep.
So your husband has actually upset my daily routine as well. So, I mean, I just return it. And like, honestly, you might want to get a divorce. This might be the time to like rethink your marriage. You know what I mean? You might ask Alexa what she thinks.
There you go. Rethinking the marriage. I like that. Kind of instead of returning Alexa, return your husband. How about
Return
that?
the husband.
That's good. That's good. Chris, what do you think?
No, just tell him during sex, so that way you said it out loud. He's not going to remember you, and you move on. What happened? I told you the other night in bed. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, cool. Boom, out the door.
Talk to him when every man never listens during.
Yeah, when the blood's not in his skull.
Right.
When it's just a brain floating in air.
That's
and he's,
good.
he's occupied. I guarantee he don't give a shit.
Meanwhile, side note, how many times does he scream out Alexa while they're having sex?
Right. Now that's an experience,
Who
right?
does that? I don't scream out my girlfriend's name.
Well,
as long as they ain't screaming Alexander, then competition.
We just have quiet eye contact like normal people.
Quiet,
no.
Yeah. You never had a staring contest during sex? You haven't lived.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah. I guess that's something to try. Yeah.
Just
creepy eye contact. No words at all.
No.
We get away from the Alexa gift. She should say it broke and then return it and buy some jewelry and just tell him thank you.
Oh. So take it upon herself to just return it to herself and get the money for it?
So now, how do you not have a podcast?
How do I what?
How do you not have a podcast? I would listen to you talk.
Well, you should come to my podcast. It's a talk show on the go, because I'm on the go.
Oh.
I listen to that. Send me a link.
Yes, because I'm on the go, so I do it wherever I can. But, you know, I do have a podcast, so you should come on. All of you.
You're not terribly new at this. You're just terribly new at the camera side.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Please. Do I look new? I'm black and white Polaroid. People try to tell me.
Do I look new?
Like, you're old. Tell me something I don't know. Tell me my nose.
That's the name of an album, by the way. Do I look new?
Do I look new? That's a good one.
That's a fucking apartment. That's a great name for an album.
That's a great name for your next comedy album. Sure. All right, let's get the next one here. What do we got? What's up next? My wife and I are expecting our first child, and I am thrilled. But what I'm not thrilled about are the names she likes. They're horrific. There's no way in hell I'm naming my kid Weather. Kurt from Tampa, Florida.
Unless his name is Dan.
Let's start with Cope on this one. How are you going to get your spouse to not name your kid some wacky name that you don't like?
First off, your name is Kurt. You need to take a big breath, okay? Your parents didn't hit the lottery either with the names. So you know what? Maybe Weather might work because you know what? Kurt, and you spell it with a K. Sorry, I just let your wife do whatever. She has to have the baby. Let her name it.
Oh, that's a good point. She's got to do all the work anyway.
Yeah, bro. You literally did no heavy lifting. She was on top.
That's right. Jodi, what do you think?
Well, it sounds like she proposed the name Weather while they were having sex, Chris, because he at one point was like thinking about it. So maybe it was she brought it up then and now he's like second guessing it. But here's the reality.
I see what you did there.
You see what I did? It's called a callback. Jimmy, who's just getting into comedy, that's called callback. So here's the deal. Weather's not a horrible name, to be honest with you. And the basic fact is it doesn't matter as long as they're hot. Nothing matters as long as they're hot. So just make sure your kid is hot and you're fine. Everyone's going to be like, have you seen Weather? Just woo! And I mean, hot weather, it's the same thing.
Hot weather, nice.
Hot weather, stormy weather. I mean, like, actually, your kid's
the name can work.
Your kid's got a porn name, really. You've got, like, a porn stripper name already. Like, so either you're going to be hot and popular or work in the poll. Either way, Weather works. Oh, Weather or
Tampa.
not, you like it.
I think if we could bottle the ability to make a hot child, I think that would.
We can.
Can you?
Can.
Is it right? Is that right? Okay.
I feel like you can.
Okay.
I just enough money. That you guys totally overlooked a girl by the name Sunda Croonquist to ask me what I think about the name.
I'm going to tell you. I'm asking you right now.
You know, come on. You grow up like that. That's crazy. Weather. That sounds like one. That's gonna be Gwyneth's friggin' granddaughter. Watch. It's gonna be Weather. They're gonna be jealous and say Weather.
We've seen names like Moonbeam, right? You guys have seen them.
Zoe.
Yeah.
Croonquist, Jodi.
These are throwbacks to the Flower Power era, right? That's the time period.
Sure is.
I like Frank.
Power period.
Yeah.
You gotta Zoom.
Frank and Chris. Frank and Chris. Just good old names. Frank and Chris.
Generational.
Nobody under the age of 45 is named Frank anymore. That's an uncle.
100% correct.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yes,
not in Jersey.
100% correct.
I digress. I disagree. Jodi.
Yeah, there's definitely got to be a younger Frankie. There's a Frankie. There's definitely Frankie.
Yeah.
Yes, you're a Frankie until you're older, and then you're Frank.
But Frankie's also the guy that owns the pizzeria on the corner, right? So that's a tough one. I would change my name in a heartbeat. Probably not to Weather, but I would love a name other than Frank.
What would you pick?
What would you pick? You have a good-looking face, like that kind of a.
I think I'd pick something Shakespearean, like a Demeter.
I could see you as a Dimitri. Right? Yeah, I think you should.
Right?
Dimitri. Oh, nice.
You know what? A lot of people during this quarantine are doing like a hard reset. They're like changing up their life. I think you should come out of the quarantine as a Dimitri.
Just full-blown different person. Just
We're gonna
grow
start
a really,
calling you D.
really Shakespearean beard and just a little poet.
I think you should do it. Own it.
All right. Maybe I'll do that. See, look, I'm getting help on this show. This is amazing.
You're welcome.
What's next? What do we got? Who we got next here? Okay. Do any of you know anyone, oh, wow, who works at Netflix? If so, tell them to update their damn movies. I find myself scrolling for hours looking for something new to watch only to quit and go to bed. Take a lesson from Redbox. Oh, and Gremlins is not a new release. It came out in the 80s.
Well,
Jillian
so
from
So
Tulsa,
what? That's
Oklahoma.
not that old.
All right. So, Sunda, I'm not quite sure what the problem is here. Do we know anybody from Netflix, Sunda? Do you got anybody that we could call?
You know I do, but, that's a whole other story. Look, you know something? If somebody's complaining about Netflix, they need to get off the tuchus. That's what I'm saying. You're sitting on your ass all day complaining about Netflix. Why don't you make a Netflix special about your flat ass from sitting down all day? That's what I'm saying. But I forgot the word on Zoom. I got to be politically correct. Cope, help me here. I don't know what I'm doing over here.
No, that's perfect. You're basically telling Jillian to film her own Netflix special.
I need my own Netflix.
That's great.
But on Zoom, and I would just have, something, besides this, I used to be afraid of blind people until I got hired to work for Ray Charles, and that was a whole other thing. So I'm getting over this Zoom thing, which
Did you work for Ray Charles?
Yes, I opened for him, and when I found out, I started crying. Most people would be ecstatic. I was hysterical.
Well, I worked with Jose
That's
Feliciano.
so funny. You're scared of blind people.
I did. I was his director, producer, and backup singer for like a year and a half. The most amazing time of my life. Yeah. And he's blind from birth.
He's blind from birth. What about Ray Charles? What happened to him? I didn't see the movie.
Ray, well, I don't know about the movies, right? But I know that Ray was able to see for a little bit.
Right?
He was when he was a kid, yes. He lost his vision.
He wanted never, right? Because he doesn't know what hair looks like. I'm kidding. These are jokes.
No.
All right.
So,
well,
let's open this up to all of us. Because this isn't really a problem, right? But
this isn't a problem, but honestly, the truth is that, yes, Netflix is not known for, the early releases. You got to get on, Amazon or Hulu, for that matter. You got to, expand. You can't just be Netflix. Don't be cheap.
You got a pyramid scheme.
Yes, stop using neighbor's Netflix account. Pay for Amazon or Hulu. Get some other, Disney, anything. Seriously, Apple,
get up.
Well, you see what's happened, right? We used to say cable was a big problem, right? It was too hard to navigate. It was too expensive. And now, everybody says
streaming services.
That's why we got. Now we got 25,000 streaming services. They're all charging you $15 a month, and you got to go from app to app to app.
It's ridiculous. There's too many apps. There's too many platforms. Nobody's watching the same thing. Yeah, it's too much.
That's the real problem.
Unless you're on Netflix, and then you can watch Cooking on High, episodes 7 and 11. I'm on those. That's a fun recommendation. Shameless plug.
That's weird. Yeah. What show is it? Say it again.
Cooking on High.
Cooking on High. Okay. What do you do on that show? Are you a cook?
I'm a judge eating weed-filled food.
Weed-filled food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you.
Look at that.
Who's that? Kosher soul food.
Look at that.
My cousin from the Panhandle in Florida. We can make it happen.
We have commercials before we even have commercials.
Not a commercial.
Jodi, you got anything you want to plug mid-show?
She's talking about the weed.
I don't have a cookbook or a cooking show.
All right, well, Jodi needs the cooking show.
Let's talk about
I eat a lot.
You need a lot, but you know what? He's talking about infusion with weed. That's deep, dude, with the soup. And come on.
Fantastic.
Yeah, man, I had brioche French toast. It was so good.
With weed in it.
Yeah, well, the can was almond butter.
Okay.
The guy put the can oil in, and it was just so good.
And then what does it calm you down? What does it do? What's the effect?
I know it trashed me out pretty quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say it gets you high. I'm not a fan of edibles. I'm sorry. It's
oh, why? I sleep like an angel.
I can't. I always end up eating too much of the edible, and then I talk to my cat for hours. No, actually, I talk to my cat without an edible. But honestly, I end up being completely out cold. It's just not worth it.
Aren't you falling asleep during the show, Chris?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Aren't you falling asleep during the show, or are you
fun, Jodi?
Exactly.
I'm getting it. Suddenly we're talking about cooking with cannabis, and I'm on the Comedy Doctors in my first Zoom. It's too much.
Fantastic, right? All right, let's move on to our next problem. What do we got here? Let's see. I broke a mirror. is there any truth to that 7 years of bad luck thing? If so, any way to transfer that to my ex-wife?
He didn't ask and he gave her herpes.
Oh, God.
Wait, how did we get
Sorry, we went the wrong way.
quick? That escalated so quickly. What did we get to?
I know, that was so, like, yeah, specific, too.
Wow.
Jerk to write something like that.
So
Come on, he's a jerk off. Come on. Don't do that. Say something like
He
that.
gave it a herp. What the fuck? Come on.
I'm breaking the mirror.
This stupid cocksucker did a fucking thing. Kill him.
Hey, there
On
you
the Mulberry Street. Find his ass.
Oh, God. I think we need a reality show where Sunda and Chris are married and they live together, and it's like you know what I mean? Like, how great would that be? They both
Moonstruck, the TV show.
It's crazy.
I hope there's no rating on this show because we just lost all of it just with that last segment.
Sorry. You told me I could do it.
No, it's great. You can absolutely do it. We're only on Facebook and YouTube, right? What do they care?
What are
Nobody
you
cares.
talking about? Facebook is God.
Right. You're absolutely right.
Facebook is God. Well, don't let me get started.
So, okay. So, is there any truth in the 7-year bad luck?
I don't think there's any truth to that. You're fine. You're not going to have bad luck, and you can't transfer it. And that's probably why she left your ass anyway, because you wish bad things to other people. So that's why you broke that mirror. I mean, George.
You look great. You're beautiful.
Thanks, guys.
I'm guessing were mirrors like really expensive a long time ago? So they just came up with like, if you break it, you're gonna have 7 years bad luck.
I think you're probably right. There's got to be some weird thing about it.
Well, I mean, there used to be like, if you step on a crack, you break your mother's back. What are all these like?
My mother was a crack.
We all know.
As long as she wasn't on it.
Well, there's a lot of old wives' tales like
Yes,
that,
there
right?
are old wives' tales. That's another thing.
Why
It's
are they
an
called
old wives? Why
wives'
can't it
tale?
be a young wives' tale? Why is it an old wives' tale?
Or old
You're gonna
husbands,
have experience.
Yeah, or old husband's tale.
right?
Romantic.
Have you guys ever walked under a ladder?
Yes.
Anything ever happened?
Not on purpose, but
Right.
believe me, I'm sure.
I've walked under a ladder. I've had a black cat.
I've had a black man.
Yeah, but Jodi's proven if you're hot, you get away with everything. So she just.
That's true.
That's right. So this doesn't apply to you, Jodi. Let us talk.
Yeah.
Don't apply.
Your opinion's not valid there, 9.
Whoa, 9. All right.
Wow.
I think, 9 in North Hollywood. I'm like a 6 in Hollywood proper.
Hey, girlfriend, you're from Jersey.
Yeah, but in Commerce, you're a 13.
Down.
Would you say in Jersey on what? What'd you say?
That's right. Remember that.
Oh, that's true. All right, Jersey in the house. Yay!
Wow. This is getting
Guys,
really good.
I have to go now.
Chris is going to leave us.
Oh,
Chris.
Yes, I apologize, but I'm a good boyfriend though.
You have been
you are a good
wonderful.
boyfriend.
Keep
I am a
cooking
wonderful
on high.
boyfriend.
Keep cooking on high. We'll see you soon. You want to plug anything before you go? Anything coming up?
Yeah, everything is Chris Cope Comedy, Instagram, website, and Facebook. That's my album. You can listen on Spotify, Pandora, and yeah, you guys have a good one. I'll come on again. I'll talk to you later.
You got it. Thanks, Chris.
Bye, Chris.
All right, just me and the oh, look at this nice little 3-shot we have going on here. Let's see what our next problem is, ladies. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm so over this virus. Yeah, aren't we all? I'm a recent high school graduate who didn't get a prom, didn't get a graduation. All my moments have all been stolen from me. Everything sucks. Ugh.
But you're allowed to complain about it.
Yeah. Can I take this one? Can I start with this one, Rose?
Please.
First of all, it's very sad. I do feel bad for the graduating class last year. No prom, no graduation. Everything sucks. But at least your skin is tight, Rose, okay? Your ass is tight and your skin is tight. You're 18, okay? Okay, like you're still filled with hopes and dreams. And this will honestly be a blip in your life. Talk to someone who's over 40 who went into the pandemic. I don't have a year to waste. You have a year to waste. Next year, you can crash someone else's prom because you're still going to be hot and young. You're fine.
So true.
Somebody tell that to my daughter who didn't go to the prom, okay?
I'll tell her.
Do you agree with that,
Young
Sunda?
and hot.
You agree with that, Sunda?
You're still young. I think it's such a shame, and there's got to be a way to make up. You just have to make it up. That's all. Make up for it.
We'll have a
Reschedule.
big party next summer.
Hey,
Yeah. people are doing parade proms and stuff like that, right? Where
they don't want to see their friends anyway. They're like, get me out of here. You know, and it's too bad. But you know what? It happens. And luckily, you're alive to say that, hey, I lived through that. You know, we partied another way, or we did this, we're on the beach, or we did something.
Right.
Listen, just give them edibles like they need.
I look at it like an experience, right? Like every prom that you hear about when you talk about proms, everybody's kind of had the same experiences, right? Those are the times you get you this, that, and the other. But how many people could say their prom was right in the middle of a pandemic?
Yeah. I mean, seriously, like every generation has to live through something. They're living through it. They can share this story in 10 years from now. They'll be like, I never got to go to my prom. Rose, this is going to be really good for you. Meet a guy in like 5 years and just use that sympathy card. Play it up. I never got to. And then he's gonna go out of his way to make some special recreation of your prom. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be like a Pretty in Pink moment. Like, use it. Make every guy you date recreate a prom for you. Use it to your benefit.
Think of the good part. You're not pregnant at 18.
Yeah, you could have gotten pregnant at that prom.
That's
the
right.
thing. You probably would have gotten pregnant at the prom. So you.
That's the positivity.
That's the positive side.
Thing.
You probably would have gotten pregnant. So there you go.
There you go. This is the positivity of the pandemic. Nobody's getting pregnant at the prom.
Or getting herpes. One of the two.
Right.
You escaped right through that. Yeah.
No chance of pregnancy or sexually transmitted diseases.
I've really turned this up a bit, Jodi. Help me out here. You told me that it's going to be easy.
It is easy for you. You just speak and it's funny.
Man, oh man, that's good advice. That only.
Guess what else, Jodi? No prom shows. You know how much fun those were in New York. Oh, have you ever done a prom show?
I would never agree to do a prom show.
Oh God, did I do them and host them? And watch girls vomit. And I'm just thinking,
well, that part's fun.
Much more fun to have the pandemic and get high in the bedroom with your parents.
Now, what's that like? The prom show? Like, are they paying attention? Are they like, are they into it?
Come out dirty and hard and pick on them. And then you have to watch somebody that needs a room. You know how that goes.
Yep.
And it was just something, certain people got the prom shows, and it was the money shot, and it was in New York, and it was that kind of a thing. You got Long Island, they complained. You got Jersey, they were whining to go to New York. You are in New York, dummy. Come on, stop it. I want to go now. She's not funny. Oh, my God.
See this, Rose? You see what you didn't miss?
Oh, you didn't miss
it. What you didn't miss?
So just go down the shore, when this is over.
Yeah.
There's hope for you, Rose. There's hope for you.
Rose, all right. We got you.
Next one. Give me something else. What do we got? I really have an issue with people who say that's funny. Oh, this is a good one. Who say that's funny but don't laugh. Being that you are comedians, I'm guessing it drives you crazier than me. But this isn't about you. It's about me, and I hate it. Kenneth from Little Rock, was that Arkansas? Little Rock, Arkansas, is that right? Okay. So Kenneth hates when people say that's funny but don't laugh. What do you think about that one, Sunda?
I think Kenneth definitely needs to be on a 10 milligram dose of Valium and medicinal marijuana, because that doesn't even make any sense. It sounds like my kids every day. You know what they say to me? Don't make me laugh. Stop making me laugh. Stop it. Whoever talks like that, this man's obviously not into funny. God, can you imagine him in bed? Jodi, you're dating. Can you imagine? Don't make me laugh. Don't make me hot. Don't kiss me. Don't touch me. What's the matter with him? Who are these people? In Little Rock, Arkansas.
Well, that's a different question. Who are these people in Little Rock, Arkansas? We can do a whole show on that.
Laugh. Why don't they want to laugh? Everybody wants to laugh, right?
So he's saying
that's funny.
He hates it when somebody says that's funny. Laugh. They don't laugh afterwards. Well, here's the thing. No, Kenneth, it doesn't bother us. I do agree with Sunda. You need to get some Xanax stat. Calm down. Calm the fuck down. But here's the thing. As comics, we don't mind it, because if I was going to tell these guys a joke, as my peers, they would say, oh, that's funny. You know what I mean? And that's actually better than somebody like howling, like, ah! Like, you're just like, I respect it more when someone's like, that's funny, because they're saying that's clever and funny, or that's funny. If it's not funny, they're not going to say anything. They're going to give a fake laugh. That's when you know, and they're like, that's a fake laugh. But if I say, that's funny, Frank, you know that's funny. So so it doesn't bother me. So look at it that way. Flip the switch, Kenneth.
That's a good point. But you're looking at, this is good. This is a good one. So you're looking at it from, like, when you hear somebody say that's funny, it's more analytical, right? They're really thinking, they're dissecting what you just said, and they're saying, okay, yeah, that's really clever. I get where that humor's coming from. But when somebody's just laughing to laugh, it's a different reaction.
Harry, they got to say to me, that's fucking funny for me to believe that they
think right? Okay.
Yeah. Come on.
This is a good discussion, actually. This is a comedian discussion. Here we go.
Yeah, this is definitely a comedian discussion.
Right? This is a good discussion. So let me ask you guys this question. When you're on stage and you've got your set and you're going, you're working, does the way the audience reacts change the way that you end up thinking about your set after the show has been done? Not if they laugh or don't laugh, but the way, because Jodi just mentioned the way somebody laughs. Sometimes I think when a quiet crowd is there and they're kind of doing this,
they're enjoying it.
It's even funnier than when they're just drunk and belly laughing.
You honestly have, yes. I mean, to your point, obviously it's the combination. You want that genuine laughter, that real laughter where they're laughing at all the right places. I've definitely had packed rooms where and I'll say Sunda, they're a quiet crowd, but they seem to be enjoying it. And you're like, we need to hear your laughter, because you see people like this smiling and nodding. So yes, they do think it's funny, but for whatever reason, they happen to be a quiet audience. And that definitely affects you a little bit. And then you also have people that laugh at your setup, and you're like, okay, you're laughing at everything I'm saying. I have no idea if this is really funny or not. Like, stop. Like, stop it. You know what I mean? So it is that weird combination. It does affect, you just look at the crowd like, okay, they were just a quiet crowd, or they were like a drunk crowd, or they, you know what I mean? It's finding that perfect crowd. But like, if you're just talking to someone, you're telling a story, and someone does that, that's a fake laugh. That's not real. That's not a real laugh. If Sunda says, that's fucking funny, that's real. That's a real reaction. She doesn't have to like verbally, emote the laughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And by the way, your point of the setup, that's a scary place to be for a comedian, when you've written a joke and you start to do your setup and actually it gets like a laugh that you didn't expect, because your mind goes, where is it going to go further when I get to the punchline? Like, is it going to actually get past, like, because it's hard to bring a crowd. Once you bring a crowd up, it's hard to let them back down and keep them and bring them back up again, right? It's a hard thing.
Yeah, if you get them back up, then you keep them up the whole time. If they come down, it is more work to bring them up. That's why you never want to go up after somebody who doesn't, like, it's such a misconception. It's like when you're first starting out, everyone wants to be that best comic. They want the other people to sort of like not do well, because they're like, oh, I'm going to do great. And I'm always like, that's so dumb. Laughter's contagious. You want every single person on that lineup to be the funniest person you've ever heard, because once somebody's laughing, all you have to do is ride that wave. Keep it going. There's nothing worse than getting on stage after somebody has just died a horrible death. Because if the host doesn't do his job and bring the energy back up, you have to spend the next 5-6 minutes getting that energy back up before you can get that groove. So
absolutely.
Yeah, everybody should just, laughter's contagious. Keep it going.
You agree with that, Sunda, right?
No, I hate to tell you, I have had both of them, and I got to tell you, I've been doing it too long. Even if they don't
doing it just as long.
But you think, what are you saying? So what are you saying, Sunda? That doesn't matter.
People out here, come on, with their little.
LA's a different crowd.
Yeah, come on. That little, because they can't let it go. You know what I mean? And what, if I'm getting paid, I don't give a shit if you laugh or not. I'm at the point in my life where I don't give a flying fuck. Give me a paycheck and don't try to pay me up in Starbucks cards, and that's how. The last 40.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you get to a place in your career where you're doing, you don't care. You're just like, I mean, you care, but you're just like, these are funny jokes. You know that they're funny. You're doing this, you know what I mean? You get to a place where it doesn't affect you the way it did when you were like younger. And by the way, I had one of my worst experiences ever as a comic was a femme fatale show.
Oh, great.
And no, it was a great show. I just, I was 7 months into my comedy career and I hadn't bombed yet, which was, I wish I had, because I was not prepared for my first bomb.
Right.
And it just happened to be the check spot. It was at Stand Up New York. And, my material was very basic at the time. And it wasn't going well. And I didn't get any laughs. And it really messed with my head so much that I stopped doing comedy for like 6 months.
I got booked again. So how did that happen?
It was
got booked off of that show. I remember that.
Yeah, it was I was unrelatable. It just wasn't, I was a Jersey girl with like bleach blonde hair, and I went up there just like talking about like when you get tan, and these girls hated me, and the guys were not no one was laughing.
Jodi, stop. You stop it right now. You had a story to tell. It was fucking hysterical, and you enjoyed yourself. And that's
no. I did not enjoy myself. See, not that show. All of your other shows I did. No, this show was painfully. This show actually, Sarge was like the guest. Remember that?
Oh my God! Wait a minute.
And it was a really bad show. But here's the thing: you have to have these bad shows. You don't learn anything from you know what I mean? You learn more from these shows, and I did. I came back stronger, better. You know what I mean? And it needed to happen. I only wish it had happened earlier in my career, because I think if it had, it wouldn't have thrown me so much. Because before that, I was like, oh my God, every time I get on stage, it's great. And it just wasn't. And you need to have those stages. You need to grow as a comic. You know what I mean? You'd never grow as a comic if every show is just great. You'd be like, oh, that's it.
You need to bomb to be humble.
You need to bomb a lot.
To be humble.
Right. That's a very good point. I want to riff on something real quick, and this is short.
No, yeah.
For people that don't do comedy, all right?
Yeah.
The difference between, because you mentioned it briefly, but I think there's something to it. The difference between an East Coast and West Coast crowd for a comedian.
Totally different.
Tell me what if you can explain it in minimal words. What do you think it is?
LA is just so judgy. They're very judgy. They're very smart. They're a very smart crowd. Which I really enjoy. I think, in my opinion, LA is the toughest market, the toughest in the entire country. It's just tough because you have a lot of different people, and a lot of people are in the industry. And I'm talking about Hollywood, talking about LA proper in Hollywood. Right. Ice House is a great club. Comedy Magic, great club. Anything in Hollywood proper is a difficult, judgy crowd. And if you can master that, you can go anywhere. Seriously. That's my opinion. New York is, I started in New York. I love New York. It's also like the best. Washington, D.C. also the best, but LA is the toughest in my opinion, because you have a lot of people that are in the industry, and they're judgy.
Yep. So do you agree with that?
No, I think New York is the smarter crowd. I always will. I think they're sharper. I think you don't have to do so many gags. I don't know. They're just not that sharp. Like look, let me just say this, Jodi. Stand Up New York, they were smart.
Oh yeah, no, I think New York's smart.
But certain clubs,
LA is smart and judgy. It's
right.
You know what I mean?
And we only have 3 places in Hollywood. Yeah. And you know what? If comedians branch out of their heads, guys, you don't even need those clubs. I show with the DoubleTree. Let me just say this real quick, because she knows me for so long. I started a show on Broadway at the DoubleTree Guest Suites Hotel when all these comedy clubs were going on. And if you worked at Caroline's, you weren't allowed to work at the DoubleTree Guest Suites Hotel with me. And I just found another outlet, because as females then, Jodi, we were not getting on. We already female.
Remember you did Labatt Bar downstairs? We would find all those places, yeah.
Yeah.
The Bar Bat, sorry, yeah.
Bar Bat, I remember that.
Don't Tell Mamas.
Don't Tell Mamas.
Yeah.
Well, I can talk about that for hours. This is great. Let's get our next problem. What's our problem here? Let's get our next one up. What you got for me, guys? How do you feel about someone who uses their blinker as they turn, or 50 feet before they turn? The "as you turn" is an insult to us. It gives us 50 feet of buffer. David Hengold, how do you feel about someone who uses their blinker as they turn 50 feet prior to actually turning? So that's what didn't Seinfeld call that the eventual left or something, where it was just on the whole time, right?
I think David also needs a Xanax.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is your problem, then your life must be great. If this is your only problem, like if you're just staring at people's blinkers, I mean,
he's insulted by it. He's insulted.
He seems really like offended by it. This is like, He either has a great life and this is the only thing in his life that's bothering him, or we're going to hear about David snapping one day and running over like a group of pedestrians. I'm kidding. Do not run over a group of pedestrians.
Listen, I think that they should have called Mike Marino for this one, because Mike Marino would say, I'm from Jersey. I don't turn on my blinkers because I don't want you to know where I'm going. So we're lucky to even get a notice.
Right.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, honestly, David, isn't that worse than when somebody just makes a turn out of nowhere?
Absolutely.
I would rather have time to be like, okay, this guy's eventually going to turn, than all of a sudden he just like turns and then you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I've
yes.
never gotten angry at somebody for being more prepared than they should be. But I have definitely gotten angry when I'm behind somebody who just like slows down and you don't know what they're about to do.
Yeah, what they're about to do. They make that hard left or that weird right and they almost cut you off.
Yep.
I mean, that's way worse to me.
Yep. I think we're all in agreement on that one. Sorry, David.
Yeah. Sorry, David. Have
one.
a drink and a Xanax. Call me in the morning.
Let them put their blinker on when they want. I think we got time for a few more. Give me our next one. What do we got? Someone hit my car in a parking lot and just left me a note that said, sorry. No name or number. Like that is supposed to make me feel better. What the fuck?
Oh.
Crystal from Santa Barbara got hit and they left her a note that says, sorry. Okay. This
yeah, that's bad.
Come on, that's somebody who knows her. She took their parking space or did something. And they figured it out. Nobody's taking the time to say sorry. It's like, sorry.
That is actually, no, that's happened to me. That's happened to me.
Happened to me too.
You know what I think happened, Crystal? This is probably what happened. They hit your car and there were witnesses. There were other people around. So they had to write something on a note that makes it look like they're putting their name and number on a piece of paper and they put it on your thing. That way other people aren't going to be like, oh, that's what happened to me. Somebody scribbled something. It literally was a scribble. I had a huge dent in my door and someone's like, oh, I saw your car. They were walking their dog. I saw your car get hit and the guy left a note. And they just assumed that he left his name and number. But no, he was just pretending to. I guarantee you that's what happened. And they just wrote sorry just to sort of like add insult to injury. So they were
covering their asses because they knew people were watching, but they didn't actually want to be called, obviously, because whatever reason.
Right. Now you can let it go, report it to your, insurance and move on with your life, or you can just decide that you're going to make it your mission to find this person, get the CCTV scans, find out what this car was, you can figure it out, and then hunt him down and, skin him alive. No? Is that too much?
I agree with that. Before you go, Sunda, I want us to recognize that Jodi's screen is
frozen.
Is frozen, but it's even most people do not look good frozen on a Zoom screen.
I'm not going to say that looks good frozen.
Great.
It does.
Look.
Shot.
I mean, it's a Mona Lisa of Zoom freezes, of Skype freezes.
Can I do this?
That's
incredible.
Amazing.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm frozen.
I don't know either, but we can hear you.
In my little screen, I'm not frozen, but as long as you can hear me, that's really all.
You, and you left a good impression there. That's frozen, so you're doing good.
I know it could have been a much worse face.
Awfully horrible. Sunda, what do you think about that? You get a note on your car, just a simple sorry.
I just think it's stupid. I think that you did something to somebody and they're coming back at you, and it's nothing to get all tight about. What are you going to do? Call your insurance company, or you go to Ralph's and make believe it happened there. Up to you.
Oh, that's a good. Okay, that's good advice.
You can't say it's you. It's got to be somebody else.
No, you always say that you were in a parking lot and you got hit. Always.
That's right.
In the mall, in the Jersey malls.
That's right.
Which is usually the case, actually. I've rarely gone to the mall where I don't come back with some sort of scratch on the car.
Oh, man. Nothing like it.
No.
I miss malls. Don't you miss malls?
I miss malls. I never.
Do you remember when you could just go shopping? Remember that? Remember those days?
Yeah, when there was people and you had things that you could actually go and get. And
remember that? Remember touching people?
Yep.
Everybody.
Having conversations and stuff that weren't on cameras.
And I'll tell you, this is the first time for me, as you know, and I want to thank you guys. Not that I'm bowing out right now and leaving you.
No. This has been great.
Good.
Yeah.
Don't you feel good, right?
You got me, and I don't think I have any more in me. I can't ever do this without you, Jodi. So in the next show has to be us, because I was so glad to see you. You have no idea how quiet was I.
Well, we're not done yet. We've got a couple more, so you just hang tight there. You're doing great.
We need a little bit more of your wisdom.
Yeah, we need more.
Hey.
Back.
He's back. There she is. See? All right, give me one more, guys. Let's go. What do we got here? I have a friend and business partner who's way too nice. Since we're extremely busy lately, which is a plus given the current state with COVID, sometimes I can't be at every meeting. I'm assuming this person means Zoom meetings. My problem is when I'm not there, he lets vendors walk all over him, and it's costing us money. How can I get my business partner to be more cutthroat, is what Aaron from Detroit is saying. Okay, how do we train our business partner to be more cutthroat in our absence is the question.
Don't be absent.
There you go. What?
Don't be absent. Show them the way. Don't complain. Hire an Italian. What can I tell you? Fix it. Italians fix a lot of stuff. Marino's right.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. As a card carrying Italian, I would agree with you.
Can I tell you something? When you go to LA and you look at the water, right? And they always talk about their beautiful oceans. There's always tar in it. And I'm thinking, can you imagine there was tar in the Jersey Shore? You'd go crazy. They would kill somebody. Who put this in the water? Hey, don't dump it. It's a beach. Can you imagine? Tar is on my feet, on my shoes, my car.
Is there tar everywhere on the West Coast?
I skeeve it.
Yeah?
Yes. That C40 gets it out, but who needs all that aggravation?
Nobody needs that. Sunda.
Nobody needs that.
Nobody needs that. It's a terrible commercial for WD-40, but
I know. Thank God they're not one of the sponsors.
They're not a sponsor.
That
would be terrible. Nobody needs you, WD-40, especially not when we're going swimming. So, okay, so how do you get somebody to be more cutthroat? Sunda's saying don't miss the meeting or just hire Italians. Jodi,
Be on FaceTime with them.
What are you thinking? What do you think, Jodi?
I mean, I don't think you can change somebody's personality like that. He's your friend. You knew what you were getting into when you decided to go into business. And in every business, you've got the guy who's cutthroat and the nice guy, the good cop, bad cop. You got all of that. That's you're the guy that's cutthroat and he's the guy that's not. And those are the roles. And again, if he's your close friend and business partner, you knew this about him going into it. So you have no one to blame but yourself. He's not going to change. So you just got to play your role. And if you have, if you are absent, then make sure he doesn't have any sales calls those days. You know what I mean? Or only sales calls that he knows how to close or, he's already worked with before. Other than that, the blame's on you.
Amazon.
There you go. So you have your business partner that's not the loose cannon of the bunch.
Yeah.
Have him be with the people that have already been closed, and you can just service the accounts. You take the accounts that are new, so you can close them and set up the deals the way you want.
Yeah, be cutthroat, right? Or buy your partner out. Get somebody who's a monster.
Right.
Send them the money.
Good point. All right, give me one more. What do we got? I got a huge. Oh, wow.
Oh, whoa. Los Angeles.
I got a huge problem with guys at the gym. I'm there to work out, and it seems like they are there to hit on us girls. I could have headphones on and be perusing a magazine, and yet they will still interrupt my workout to flirt. And yes, I have changed gyms twice. Any idea how I can get these Neanderthals to leave me alone? Deandra in Los Angeles, California. Jodi, I'm going to start with you on this because I know the answer.
Stop being so hot. I mean, honestly. Also, where are you going to a gym? There's no gyms open right now. You haven't changed anything. You haven't been to a gym in 7 months, Deandra. Settle down. You're doing videos in your apartment the way that we are too. You're doing the same hit videos from YouTube and yoga videos. And then, honestly, it's like you're going to the gym when the gyms do open. These guys are hitting on you. It's one or two things. They're either going to hit on you or they're not going to hit on you. And I guarantee you, the second they stop hitting on you, you're going to be like, why are they not hitting on me? Oh, my God. Don't I look really good? So it's either stop being so hot or, take it as a compliment and just be like, you know what I mean? Back off. If it really bothers you, just use your words. Use your big girl words and say, please stop staring at me like a piece of meat. You're making me uncomfortable. And I guarantee you in this day and age, in this culture, they'll be like, okay, especially if you're at 24-hour fitness.
Yeah.
Are gyms even going to ever come back? I mean, seriously.
Oh, man. You know what? They're starting to, and they can because they can move. Now, here's the problem. It's the same problem they're having with restaurants, right? They can open at 50% capacity, but most businesses don't operate at that much of a profit margin. So it's not helping them, obviously.
Here's the thing. I would go to an indoor restaurant before I'd go to a gym. And I have gone to an indoor restaurant. But gym is like sweaty. It's sweaty, and that stuff is all over the place. You know what I mean?
Beads of moisture. That's the big problem. That's what they're telling us. You can't have beads of moisture.
What was the question?
So the question was, when she was at the gym, she felt
the guys
like
were hitting on her. Oh, yeah, okay. You know what she should do to stop that? Just wear a sock in her pants. Done.
That'll stop it too.
okay.
Stuff your pants in a sock, turn around, black out a tooth and say, hey there, I'm just looking at you too, sweetie. Get that little Billy Bob going on and just show what you can do.
So change your appearance for the worse, basically. Is what
change your whole personality. Like,
why am I like frozen? That was a terrible way to be frozen. I'm constantly frozen.
Diablo, you'll be looking at me like that. I have to call my boyfriend. Excuse me, Bongo. Hello. Anything. Who knows? I'm just.
But it's very hard to do that while you're working out, though.
Yeah. Watch them in Uptown. Watch the Dominicans Uptown, New York. Don't tell me, Lucille.
Right.
Have you ever seen that?
Jodi, what's going on?
I'm frozen again.
What are you thinking about, Jodi? What are you thinking about?
I know. It looks like I'm really thinking about something important.
Man, when you
or I'm asleep.
Guys,
you know what? I just fell asleep. I'm asleep right now.
Oh my God, you fell asleep.
I fell asleep. I had some of the cannabis butter, and I'm asleep.
Well, wait a minute. Let's get some of that cannabis butter over here and do it at the midnight at the Oasis. We got to bring Jodi Miller on.
Let me take one last one real quick before we go.
Come on, you said that before.
No, one more. Give me one more quick one. Okay, I recently got a job promotion, and it meant being transferred to a different branch, which unfortunately is in a college town. Any ideas on how to cope with being surrounded by party animals when you're a church-going grandmother of 5, Eloise, Athens, Georgia?
Medicinal marijuana.
That'll help. Yeah.
I mean, can I just pipe in here?
Yeah.
If you're, don't you want to like regain the fountain of youth? Wouldn't that be a positive thing, Eloise? Right?
Seriously, yeah. Be party grandma. If you can't beat them, join them. Eloise, be the party house. Be party grandma house. Like, all come over there, cook them dinner. You know what I mean? Party with them. I mean, it's like we take good care of ourselves until we get to a certain age. Then you gotta let loose. Listen to me. When I turn 80, I'm gonna start doing heroin. Like, I'm ready. I'm waiting for my golden years to be like golden party years and be like, what? You know what I mean? Like,
be the coolest grandma on the block.
Yeah.
Right?
And maybe one of the young hot guys has a grandma fetish. Get on it. Own it.
Something, sweetie, I didn't know that the grandma thing was going to come up because I said one thing. Old Arthur, going to hurt me, old arthritis here. And Jodi Miller, I can't believe you was talking about when we turned 80 years old. My name's
hot grandma.
And I feel that way. We're going to get high till we reach the sky. You're out of your
just broke into her own show. This is great.
She's hot grandma.
Guys, ladies, this has been amazing. I shouldn't say guys.
Super
ladies,
fun.
You have a cold?
This has been so much fun. Before we go, anything coming up? I know we're all sort of in the pandemic mode, but you got anything coming up you want to plug? The new year or anything?
Yes,
I mean, listen, tune in, subscribe to my podcast. Don't Call Me Ma'am. It's everywhere you can find it. Don't Call Me. It's everywhere you find your podcasts. And World's Funniest Weather. I'm the host of that show. Season 2 starts in, I think, 4 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, you can watch it now. It's Sundays on the Weather Channel, and it's syndicated. So check your local listings. And season 2 starts in a month. Yay!
Fantastic.
Man,
Sunda, what you got?
Weather. Now listen to that. All right, so you can find me Wednesday nights. We have Comedy Under the Stars outside the LA School of Comedy, where it's the only open mic that's COVID compliant. And you can also find me at sundalive.com. And my podcast is Talk Show on the Go. You know why? Because I'm on the go. This Talk Show's on the go, and I want to get Jodi Miller up there, too.
Absolutely. You guys are making a good team on that. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. I want to thank the Big Apple Shopping Bazaar. I want to thank them, just like New York. And keep following us every Monday night at 9 p.m. We'll be here on the Comedy Flow channels of Facebook and YouTube. And send your suggestions to comedydoctors@comedyflow.net. We'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Guys.
Thanks. Bye.